This is the scariest stories you're gonna hear. If you think you have a hard heart, press like, and if you're heartless, press subscribe.
Daniel Drayden is an alleged serial killer who used Tinder to meet his victims in July 2018. Police tracked down Daniel Drayden, a man suspected of raping and killing 29-year-old Samantha Stewart, a nurse from Queens, New York, with whom he matched on Tinder. Authorities discovered him in a Los Angeles hotel room, where he was holding another woman prisoner after sexually assaulting her. On July 30, 2018, Drayden pleaded not guilty in Los Angeles County Superior Court to charges relating to the woman in the hotel room. He was charged with sexual assault and attempted murder. At the time of Ms. Stewart's death, Drayden was free on $2,000 bail while awaiting trial in an unrelated case in Nassau County, New York. He had been charged there earlier that year with choking a former girlfriend after she tried to end their relationship, court records show. But the judge who released him in that case did not know Drayden had a criminal record in his home state, Connecticut, dating to at least 2011. The prosecutor, court clerks and Mr. Drayden's public defender also did not know. Mr. Drayden had served jail sentences in Connecticut for strangulation and harassment and for violating protective orders, state court records show. Mr. Drayden killed Ms. Stewart 2 weeks after he was released in the Nassau County case, the police said at the time. He fled to Los Angeles with her driver's license and used her credit card to pay for airfare, according to the indictment charging him in a news release issued by the Queens District Attorney's Office. New York police detectives found Drayden a week later in North Hollywood, Calif., where members of a fugitive task force discovered him holding a woman captive. He had been held in Los Angeles since then on rape charges filed there before being extradited to New York this week. Nassau County officials learned later that records related to his criminal past in Connecticut had been missing from his New York court file. Information the Nassau County judge could have used to determine whether to keep Mr. Drayden in custody before trial. New York state law requires police departments to provide physical copies of a defendant's criminal records to the district attorneys and the courts. Court clerks in New York who have the appropriate security clearance can view state criminal records through an electronic portal, but for out-of-state criminal records, judges often rely on local police to provide the documents. Nassau County Police said in 2018 that they had hand-delivered a copy of Mr. Drayden's records to the court. Drayden's release was not a product of the state bail law that is now at the center of a contentious debate in Albany. Governor Kathy Hochul has proposed changes that would make the law more restrictive, most likely expand judicial discretion and effectively increase the number of crimes that are eligible for bail. Drayden's 2018 release was attributed to missing paperwork and a lapse in communication. The way in which New York's courts acquire out-of-state criminal records has not changed since Mr. Drayden's release in 2018, which did not suggest a systemic issue, Lucian Chalfin, a spokesman for the state court system, said. What happened in this case was a tragic aberration, Mr. Chalfin said in an email. The procedure, he added, was that local law enforcement agencies provided courts with both New York and out-of-state records. On Friday, Mr. Drayden, facing second-degree murder, larceny, sexual misconduct and other charges, shuffled into the Queens courtroom with his head down, his hands cuffed behind his long-sleeved blue sweater and his gray Nike sneakers squeaking quietly as he walked. He sat between two detectives in suits, tapping his left foot and trembling. Minutes later, he stood silently in front of Justice Kenneth C. Holder of State Supreme Court as Sean Clark, a Queens prosecutor, detailed how, in a video statement recorded on July 24, 2018, Mr. Drayden told New York detectives during an interview at a California police station how he had met Ms. Stewart online, how they had gone out for pizza and how he later choked her in her Springfield Gardens apartment. The victim was duped into going out on a date with the defendant, who played a charmer online but was in fact an alleged sexual predator, Melinda Katz, the Queens District Attorney, said in a statement. After this heinous act of violence, the defendant fled the state to escape prosecution. Now back in our custody, this defendant will be held to account for his alleged actions. As investigators continued probing into Drayden's past, they began suspecting he was connected to a string of Tinder and rideshare-related sexual assaults and murders. A month prior to Stewart's alleged murder, New York detectives were looking into a Brooklyn woman's report that he raped and choked her after a Tinder date. According to prosecutors, following his July arrest, Drayden confessed to killing 6 more victims. Reportedly, 2 murders took place in Connecticut, one in the Bronx, another in Suffolk County, one in either Nassau County or Queens, and potentially one more in California. It's unclear whether or not Drayden's confession was true. Drayden has 5 prior arrests in Connecticut, including a 2011 arrest for strangulation.